Mr. Hayes. Okay, I'm going to call this meeting to order, the special meeting of the Board of Equalization. It's Wednesday, May 15th, 2024. It is 9:30 a.m. and we're all here. So, Mr. Towns.
Present.
Ms. Sellers.
Present.
And I'm Ms. Thompson. And we have 15 items on the agenda today, and they're all with Mr. Hayes, so we can get him on the phone.
Good morning.
Good morning, Mr. Hayes. How are you doing?
Doing okay. How about yourself?
We're doing great. Okay, so you're all we have on the agenda today. So before we get started, are there any you can agree to before we start going through the docket?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, shoot.
BOE 381.
Okay, that's the first one on the agenda. 7909. Can you pronounce that correct? Mays Terrace, R122201210. The assessor says 240,000. You agree to that?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. I'd like to move on agenda item 1, BOE 381, that we set the fair market value of this property per agreement of both parties of $240,000.
A second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, any others?
384.
Okay, that's item 4 on the agenda, 11504 Matthews, R122823470. What does the assessor have on this one?
Number 4, we have 182,500.
And you agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, I do.
Okay,
I'll make a motion on BOE 384, item number 4 on the agenda to set the fair market value at $182,500 by agreement of both parties.
Second.
all in favor?
Aye.
Any others?
385.
Okay, that's item 5 on the agenda. 11916 Silver Sun Drive, R123241550. What does the assessor say for this one?
221,500.
And you agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, I do.
All right.
I move that on agenda item 5, BOE 385, we set the fair market value of this property at $221,500 per agreement of parties.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any others?
387.
Okay, that's item 7 on the agenda, 15408 Summit Park Drive, R128471020. The assessor says $309,000. You agree to that?
Okay.
All right.
I'll move that on agenda item 7, BOE 387, we set the fair market value of $309,000 by agreement of both parties.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Any other?
394.
Okay, that's item 14 on the agenda, 4228 Mellow Hill Drive, R134942470. The assessor says $295,500. You agree to that, Mr. Hayes?
I move on agenda item number 14, BOE 394, to set the fair market value of this property at $295,500 per agreement of parties.
I'll second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Is that it, Mr. Hayes?
No, the last one.
The last one, 395. Okay. Item 15 on the agenda, BOE number 395, 4345 DeHoon Drive, R134992720. What does the assessor say on this one?
We have that one on for 271,500.
Is that agreeable to you, Mr. Hayes? Okay.
I'll move on item number 15, BOE 395, to set the fair market value at $271,500 by agreement of the parties.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we'll go back and deal with item 2 on the agenda, which is BOE number 3, and thank you, Mr. Hayes, number 382, 11209 Cimarron Drive, R122312230. Your paperwork says 260,700. You got a different figure, Mr. Hayes?
Yes, ma'am, I'm at 273.
Okay.
Basically, I used to agree with those adjustments. Number 6 was close to the threshold of the smallest property, but notice the sale price almost the highest at 280,000. Noticing the adjustment per square feet, had the highest at 118. Most of these are at 100 low, but I did use number 2. It's at 106.43. I didn't use number 3 because it's too small. It's 550 square feet smaller. Number 4 is also 621 square feet smaller. So based off that, I used numbers 1, 2, and 5. The meaning I got 2, 7.
1, 2, and 5 or 1, 2, and 6?
1, 2, and 5.
Okay, we hear from the assessor.
Alright. 11209 Cimarron Drive is northwest of Council and Hefner. It's in the old Windmill Estates addition there. We currently have it valued at $278,500. In 2023, it was $254,000. In 22, it was $179,000. It was acquired in a 2022 multi-parcel sale, and before that, in a 21 valid arm's length $175,000 sale. We don't have any sort of remodel on the record for this one. It is a 2,815 square foot property. That gives us a value of $98.93 per square foot. We are currently looking at a median of, with our initial 6 comp report, we have a median of $284,674 and a mean of $273,531. Notable points of interest: comp 1, 3, and 4 were all provided by Ryan. Our comp 1 was Ryan's comp 6. Our comp 3 was Ryan's comp 1. Our comp 4 was Ryan's comp 2.
This is at Hefner and what?
This is northwest of Council and Hefner.
This is Harvest Hill.
Old Windmill Estates.
Oh, Windmill.
And that's really all the assessor's office has to say on that. Our comps are good. The ones that are a little more adjusted were provided by the taxpayer to use.
Okay, final word from you, Mr. Hayes.
Just using the better comps.
Okay.
You know, they provide the same ones, but we use the best comps to come up with a plan back.
Okay. So I'm going to close BOE 382 and move to BOE 383, 6305 West Lane, R122351270. The assessor has it at 264,500, and your paperwork shows 240. You got a different figure, Mr. Hayes?
Hold on, man. I'm trying to get to that. Internet exchange yesterday. 1, 2, 2, 3. It's 305 West Lane.
Yes.
I'm at 252.
Okay.
I used basically 1, 2, and 3. Course number 5 is way too small. Looking at the
We're on 383, BOE 383. I didn't see comp 5.
Hold on, 6-3. Make sure. 122-35-1270.
Yes.
Oh,
3, 4, which are we on? 383.
You have 5.
Yes, ma'am. So
Hold on a second, Mr. Hayes, go ahead.
our office actually ran 2 comp reports for the initial hearing for this one. So you might be looking at the Ryan comp report, which is the 4 comp
4
report.
comps, right.
But there was a second comp report posted in that document that had the initial 6 comps that we ran that were our selection.
Okay.
Go ahead, Mr. Hayes.
Yes, there's 6 comes on here. Like I said, I used,
1, 2, and 3.
the first 3. I really didn't like number 3, sale price. Hold on. I'm sorry, you 1, 2. What did I use? I got this one out of, for some reason this one came in out of the ordinary. I did see the standby.
So the 6 comp report in the documents that I have, that is your,
Yes, sir. That
okay,
is-
it just has, it's a different looking format, so I was curious.
Yes, sir.
That should have been 256.5, 1, 2, and 4. I didn't use number 3 because of the sale price, 230,000, kind of high for the subject value 264, $7,000 high. Once again, Pam, when you have a property, 250, 300,000, it shouldn't be a variation of sale price.
Just change.
70,000,
Yes.
that's literally 25%. That lets you know that the property's been upgraded to scale. Like I said, number 5, too small. 500 square feet smaller. And that's why I didn't use them.
So you changed it to 256.5 based off of comps 1, 2, and 4, correct?
Yes, I'm sorry. Trying to think why I didn't, I don't know why I didn't use them. 5. Well, I think I just used 3 on this one. Yeah, I'll be at 256.5 on this.
Okay, work it from the assessor.
Okay. 6305 West Lane in Oklahoma City is northwest of 122nd and MacArthur.
Okay.
And that is in the Westlake Edition neighborhood. We currently have it valued at $264,500. In 2023, it was $202,000. In 2022, it was $220,000. So we did see a decrease in price. In 23, it was acquired in a corporate transfer. In 22, it was acquired in a valid $200,000 sale. We don't have any remodel on the record for this one. It is a 2,181 square foot property, which gives us a value of $121.27 per square foot. Our selected comps give us a median of 274,630 and a mean of 274,989. And like we had mentioned earlier, we did a second comp report with only Ryan's comps, which also gives us a median of 265,959 and then a mean of 259,876. And we did use one of their comps in our initial 6 comp report. That was number 4. That was their comp 6. This is one where in 2023, the sale price that they got was a little bit below what we would have expected from the market. It might have even needed to be invalidated, but we didn't. So we set their 23 value to that. However, because the comps and the sales in the area are supporting that higher value, the model can look at that and give us a adjusted value. This is one of the ones where I would definitely advise against using a 6.7% county average. Just again, simply doing that is gonna actually lower the average if we never account for the higher sale percentages. Yes, ma'am. But all that said, the 6 comps we have, the 4 comps they have, they're all good, or else we wouldn't have used them. And we can support their value with both comp reports. The biggest question I have, I know that Mr. Hayes didn't want to use number 3 because the sale price was so high, but it's also the lowest adjusted property as far as net adjustments go. Only $213 of adjustments were made to the sale price. And that's all we have to say from the assessor's office.
Can you respond to his using 3 and you're not using 3, Mr. Hayes?
Well, automatically look at the adjustments. I didn't understand the adjustments.
But he said that, wait a minute.
Smaller.
3 is the least amount of adjustments, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah,
$213.
hold on. It is small. What, 174 square feet, right? It is newer, 5 years newer. Its land is more. So how do you get negative 213 if it's land so it's 5 years newer? Okay. It is in the same neighborhood, but different subdivision. You look at the adjustments of minus 2.6, minus 2.1, the garage minus 4.9, the land square feet. Now check this out, the land square feet is only minus 1.2. Look at the year, 5 years for 0.350. So it gives us that 5%, you pretty much get that 5% back from the side. I don't understand why that it's just 213. It's smaller. That's the only thing. But it's newer. The land is larger. It looks like it's garage. I don't know the 441 to 506. I don't know if 506 is more or less in size or whatever, how they rate those. And then it's sold at the end of the year. So I don't understand. Of course, it's less adjustment for time adjustment. But the minus 213, I don't think that algorithm hit the mark on that.
Okay. Alrighty, I'm gonna close the hearing on, so we're at 264 and 256. Close the hearing on 383 and go to agenda item 6, BOE 386, 7400 Northwest 112th. And that's sitting right in front of PC North. Okay, anyway, R128151190. Mr. Hayes, your paperwork says 283.3. Do you have a different number?
What's the assessor asking on this one? Is that gonna be a package on it?
I'm sorry, 317.5 is what I heard.
What you got, Mr. Hayes? Okay.
Hold on, my internet is, I think I need to switch mine.
Okay.
Come on. My internet is not moving fast. I made some changes yesterday and it's coming back to 100 now.
This is 1190.
Yeah, I'm on it now.
Okay.
I'm at 302.
Okay. Shoot.
Okay. 1, 3, and 5. I basically try to stay in the same subdivision. I'm starting to notice these subdivisions are getting much larger. Sometimes crossing a major street. They're just huge. Trying to stay within a half-a-mile radius.
It's a bunch of houses out there, Mr. Hayes. That's across the street from one of the larger high schools. I saw that neighborhood being built. It's, I wouldn't call it huge.
Excuse me? I didn't hear you, ma'am.
No, I was just saying that neighborhood's not real huge. Okay, so you used 1, 3, and 5, and which?
I started to see that trend, like they were going off on the one. On this one, number 4 was the closest for the size. Everything pretty much matched 1 year off. Notice that it sold $245 adjusted, $506 to $494, $244, $494. That's pretty good indicator of value, but but it was sold in the year, and they buried the adjustment with it being closed. So I thought that was kind of weird.
Why is that? So that you're telling me why you tossed 4?
No, I actually used it. They didn't do adjustments.
You said 1, 3, and 5.
Those are the ones he didn't use.
Oh, you did not use 1, 3, and 5? Oh, sorry. I'm sorry. Go ahead. I'm sorry. Excuse me, Mr. Hayes. I'm
I
sorry.
misunderstood that too.
I apologize.
But I thought you said 1, 3, and 5 were in the same subdivision.
Yes, 1, 3, and 5 are the same stuff.
So did you use 1, 3, and 5?
Yes.
So, did you not use comp 4?
I used comp 4 because I didn't like this adjustment.
You used comp 4 or you did not use comp 4?
No, I didn't use comp.
Did not use, and because you didn't like the adjustments, okay.
No. So please note that it would have been lower if I used it, but I didn't like it. It didn't make sense. Just notice that I noticed that, and sometimes, well, most people would try to use it being on a appraisal standpoint. I didn't like the adjustment of the algorithm. So I wanted to make sure we focus on the fact that sometimes I don't like the adjustments when they're not good enough. That would help me, and the ones that are not good enough that would hurt. I wanted to bring special attention to that. This is the closest. So in reality, no, I didn't use them. Number 4 is 2573. It is good. That's why I focused on that. Everything's pretty close. I think the adjustment should have been a little higher. So that value should have been higher. But please note that, okay? I just said that because the sale price $245 and it only adjusted $506. It should have adjusted more. If you guys are staying with the notion of adjusting for time, it adjusted sale price from $247,809. Okay, but it somehow only adjusted $506. I didn't like that adjustment. I thought it should have been more. So I didn't use it. I make sure we note that. Now, you have property number 6. That's 134 square feet smaller. It sold for $310. Look at this adjustment. It went up to $318. So if you're going off 4 and 6, you only got 90 square foot difference. Yes, number 6 is 7 years older, but I didn't like the adjustments on that. It went up $8,000. Yes, we did mirror the concept of the adjustment on number 4. So with that being said, I didn't use that. I'm paying close attention to what the algorithm is doing because that's giving us the actual number. So I didn't agree with number 4 because I didn't think it adjusted enough. Number 2 was in the range, but it was one of the small ones, 2 years older than the southern property. It sold for $330 and also adjusted up $8,000. So I'm starting not to really do the algorithm even more. And trust me, that's why we do these here, to make sure the algorithm is getting right. But on these, it's not getting right. From one that would help me and 2 that are in the middle. And this property sold at the end of
39,
September
750. I didn't bring
2019.
these comps, I'm just trying to get them. 39, 750.
So that's why you want to stay in the neighborhood from the concept of adjustment and respect.
Okay, we're here
But
for
number 4, I mean, I'm definitely interested in what the appraisal on sale number 4 because that should have been, that's the one that should have adjusted 15,000, 20,000 because it's the earliest sale of the year, February. So maybe the algorithm missed that because it does sometimes, but it only adjusted 3316. So maybe I'm missing something. So I'll let them go there.
Okay, we're here from the assessor.
Okay. 7400 Northwest 112th Street in Oklahoma City is northwest of Hefner and Rockwell. We have it in Warwick Place. You can see on the map there, it's in that Nova area. We currently have it on the record at $317,500. In 2023, it was $313,000, so only a $4,500 increase in value. In 22, it was $259,000. And this one hasn't had any good deed sales, any qualified transactions in the last 30 years. We don't have any remodels on the record. This is a 2,597 square foot property, which gives us a value of $122.26 per square foot.
What was it, 2,000 square feet?
2596.
I think we have 2,597, but what's one square foot?
Sorry.
Our median adjusted sales price for our 6 comp report is $326,839. The mean is $316,332, which very closely supports our value. We did look at Ryan's comps. They didn't provide any good ones for this one. 1 and 3, we have way too many adjustments to use. 3 and 4 were the same property, 2 was invalid, 5 and 6 were the same property, 5 was invalid, 6 was a 24 sale. Going over it, there's no reason to throw any of these comps out. To say that our algorithm is wrong is to say that we're doing it wrong for all of the residential properties and commercial properties that we use the algorithm for, across the nearly 300,000 residential accounts that we have.
So let's look at number 4. That's the one.
Number 4
Seems to be the,
So number 4 sold for $245,000 in February of 23 last year. We adjusted it to $247,809 because that's just the time adjustment we used. The time adjustment is a very long and intense process. I asked around about this a lot the first time we were talking about time adjustments. Essentially, we have the county broken down into 4 economic areas. Each of those economic areas, you can kind of chart the growth of sale prices from month to month, season to season, and then they write the growth chart and apply that based on essentially area and time. So just because it's a small time adjustment, that's more of a factor based on economic area than any sort of failure on the algorithm's part. That just means it was a slower growing area, which I believe is well proven by the very small jump in value for this property from 23 to 24.
It's maxed out. There's no way to expand in that area.
Correct.
It went from cow pasture to neighborhoods packed in about 6 or 7 years.
so
And all of our comps you'll see are a quarter of a mile or less as far as distance. There's minimal adjustments made to each of them. And comp 4 is the lowest valued one. We're not just going through picking the highest comp sales. We're not just picking the lowest. We're trying to pick the best matches, and then that's how we defend our value. And sorry, Mr. Town, I heard you wanted to start talking there.
no, that's fine.
Okay.
Give me the year build for this house.
Year built for this house, we have it as a 30-year-old house, which we put it at 1994. And I'm pretty sure this is probably the most open and shut property we've looked at perhaps for this entire time. I have nothing else to say on it.
Can I have a copy of your comp report, please?
You get the
Because
final
I
word,
didn't
Mr.
get a
Hayes.
copy of the comps on this one.
Yes, ma'am.
Did he satisfy you on number 4?
Okay, so we understand the algorithm too. If you break this down a little bit farther, which I'm not going to go into it too heavily, with the adjustments, of course, you said a slow moving neighborhood, but there's no way a property that sold for $245 that's smaller, slightly smaller, right, should adjust for pretty much the same value. That was sold if you're doing time adjustments. Now your time adjustments are, I guess we can say, lenient in this neighborhood, but if we're going on the average of the area as a whole, I don't know, looking at the whole, I don't know your area at all, but when you adjust the sale price to $247,809, that's 2,800. That's your time adjustment. So I guess that's your 3,000 being adjusted for. That's a lot more lenient than they've been for most areas in it. So maybe I don't know that area, and I heard you guys say it's near pasture. But
It was, but it is tough. The reason why nothing's moving out there, it's right across the street from that high school. I have to stress that. And so they did a lot of building out there. And when I say it's maxed out, it's like there's no vacant land out in that area anymore. It's just neighborhood. Okay, so I'm gonna close.
I just want to clarify one more thing, because you said you based your 302,000 off of comps 1, 3, and 5. Did you use the sale adjusted value or the adjusted sales price?
I use the sales. I normally use it sales.
Because when I do the math on those three, I get 331,900.
Which is way over what the assessor has in it.
Yeah, that's one of my thoughts, is if you throw out 4 of the lowest, that your model rises, and in the assessor's model, if you keep it, it lowers significantly. I mean, if you did the Russian judge, you tossed out the lowest and the highest, you're going to have something's probably more significant than 317, because there's $100,000 difference in 4.
Yes, sir. But like we've kind of talked about earlier, we don't use the paired sales analysis to set our values. We use the model to do that. We just use the paired sales analysis to show that our values are accurate.
1 and 4.
Yeah, I think he might be willing to accept your value if he realized that the math didn't work out on that.
Well, you know what? That's why, because I turned around and threw 4 out. That's why. You're right. I do have to accept it, right? Because I threw 4 out. Sorry about that.
So,
Because I look at it again. I look at it twice. Sometimes I don't.
Well, did you, if you have, okay.
So
does that mean you would agree to the 317,500?
I'm sorry. Yeah, we threw 4 out. I didn't look at the other numbers because I take notes, but I actually go back and see them. I know I put on there notice variation and sale price. Yeah, I didn't pay attention. I just looked at the top. Sorry about that.
So we have agreement.
Okay, agreed. Yeah.
Okay. I'd like to move on BOE numbers, agenda item number 6, BOE 386. So we set the fair market value of this property at $317,500.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Sorry, I hate to
It's
do
okay.
that.
That's all right. We'll move to item 8 on the agenda. BOE number 388, 916 Northwest 109th, R 1307 60012. The assessor's at $173,000. And your paperwork shows $135,400. You gonna change that at all, Mr. Hayes?
3, 7.
This is 0012.
I'm interested. Yes. On this one, I'd like the sale price of 1. With the adjustment for 119,962 rounded to 120. It is the same exact property sold on December 29th. So that property owner will get the value that they sold the property. So I don't know if you guys just wait to do it. Even though it's one property, it's the same exact size. Notice that, this is what I'm thinking, notice that the property next to it, pretty much the same size, a little bit older, same as in comparison, same land. It does have a garage, it's adjusted, sold for $157,500. So that's 40,000, 42,000 more. It adjusted to 165. So with that being said.
So are you saying that you're asking it for $115,000 then for the sale price of comp 1?
120 for sales adjusted value around 119,962. Sold on December 29th, 2 days till the end of the year. Same exact size, the neighborhood, same neighborhood. Looking at the better sales map.
Garage.
Looking at the sales map.
That is
So
just,
there are some adjustments on that one. You scroll down, let's see what the total adjustments are. $5,000 in adjustments. So that's why I took it up to the 120.
And it is the closest. If you look at the sales map, you can't even see it. So it's right next to each other.
He wants 120.
Yes, I want the same price sold at the end of the year. And even in the cookie cutter neighborhood, saying, oh yeah, we do that, but that's the same exact property
But,
on the same exact street. So I think any homeowner wants that same tax value. If you looking at a property sold at the end of the year, the same time, and the property is so small.
now
They
what,
change that up too much in a comfortable area, just a little older. Right, sell the property a little new.
so but you're doing one house here. What, you're not,
Man, even from a math appraiser, the house is exactly the same, being a house that small on the same street that we sold. And it's all those factors, it's one of those times we allow you to use one house. If it's sold at the end of the year, it's the same size, same square footage, pretty much in a cookie cutter neighborhood, on the same street, that's one of those times when you throw everything out there.
what month did this house sell in?
December.
December 29th.
So we're getting very close to the cutoff.
Yes, I would want my value to be the same as anybody that just purchased the house. That's the concept of the market. That house is the exact market price for what my house would be, because my house is somewhat newer with the adjustments and it's sold at the end of the year. That's when you actually can be able to use one house. Because even from a mass, that house is the same exact house as mine.
November one for 200,000, 207,000.
But-
So that's all.
Mr. Hayes, let me ask you this. Could you give, I mean, I don't know where it is you live in Houston. Oklahoma City is really peculiar. You can walk in a neighborhood and there can be a neighborhood developed by 1 or 2, 3 builders. And you can have 2 identical houses with the upkeep being quite different. And one will sell for more than the other. So I'm taking it that just because that house sold in December and is identical in size, doesn't mean the condition of the house is this. I mean, there are houses where some people parking in the yard and haven't painted in ages, and the house next door is kept up very nice. The yard is manicured. I mean, I think you just can't say because it's identical and next door that it will control.
It's something we're going on mass appraisal. Now let's look at the sale prices of these houses. We have houses.
I know this neighborhood, I guess is what I'm saying, and I can.
We have 1,558 square foot house selling for 262,000. Look at the difference in the variation of sale. That's double.
Okay.
That property, 368 square foot large and it sold literally 120% higher. That's not a comp by sale price. Sold in February. Look to the next one, 1,400 square feet. Look at 135,000, almost half. Look at that. At 200 square feet and 20 years old. Look what it adjusts to 125.
Okay.
So your best indicator of value, by it being a property that recently sold at the end of the year. Yes, my client's property is newer, but my client's property is a rental property. It hasn't been recently sold or purchased within the past year. So 1,200 square feet, which is very small,
Mm-hmm.
and you got a property that's sold at the end of the year. Isn't that an indicator of what the value should be? I mean, to me, I think that's a huge indication of price. When you have other properties, 1449 sold for 253, and 1568 sold for 262. Would you use those as a comparable? No. Look what they sold for. They sold for double the value. Like you just said, you're answering the question. You can tell by the sale price that property is not a comp. It is selling for double, and it's 249 square feet larger. The other property sold for way more than double, and it's 350. They shouldn't be fair. Their conditions should be good. And and then the number 4 is 1 year old. Number 6 is 2 years old. So they're not comp. If you look at the older properties, they're all selling for lower prices.
Okay.
So those are not comp.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
All right, 916 Northwest 109th Street, Oklahoma City is northeast of Northwestern and Hefner. And it is in College Park. And actually, the next 4 will all be in College Park, just so you have the heads up there. In 24, we currently have it valued at $173,000. In 23, it was $162,500. In 22, it was $130,500. In 22 and 23, it was acquired in multi-parcel transactions. In 21, it was acquired with an inventory modification tacked into the sales price, so we had to disqualify that. The last transaction we could have used was 2007, too far away to do anything there. This property had a 30% remodel in 2019. It is a 1,200 square foot property. That gives us a price per square foot of $141.17. We are looking at a median with our 6 comp report of $175,198, and our mean is $167,173.
I'm sorry, what was your median again?
Median is
175,198.
essentially 175. Yes, ma'am. So slightly below the median, slightly above our mean. Comps 1 through 3 were all provided by Ryan. And actually, if you look at comps 1 through 3, we're talking 0.02 miles away, 0.03 miles away, 0.03 miles away again. You look at the addresses, you can tell they're just 1 or 2 houses down, all 3 of these. And actually, if you look at the map here, go ahead and scroll to our map, you can see as well, it's literally right next to the subject property. Comps 2 and 3 are also pretty much as similar to comp 1 or to the subject as comp 1 was. We're talking within $1,000 of adjustments of comp 1, but they also sold much higher and at the beginning of the year. So we can't just only use comp 1 if we're gonna do comps just based on only the most accurate and closest. We have to use comp 2 and 3 as well. But since there were 6 available comps, we used all of them to get a better picture of what's going on in the area, and we make the adjustments as necessary. We have our mean, we have our median. There's not really anything else we need to say on that.
Okay, final word, Mr. Hayes.
Okay, so once again, look at number 4 and number 6. They're both ranges, so they're not comp. Okay, and you can tell by the price. A new build for the most part, so because they're close in size, it doesn't mean you're using that comp. So you can tell they're not too comp, or still not, like I said before. But I wouldn't wait heavily on number 5. Look at number 5. Sold in January, 135. It's 200 square foot larger than 75. 5 years new. And that's why I think number 1 is the best. Let's look at number 2. Sold it again. Probably the same size property. 6 square foot difference. 3 years old, same as number 1. And it sold for $157. Well, why? The last one, closest, built for $115. But that's the direct indicator that area is declining. The adjustments on number 2, $165. That's still, what, $45,000 difference for 1,200 square foot house. That's almost half the value. Doesn't make sense. That's why I stuck with number 1, because it makes more sense to say you have a microcosm of the subject property right next to it. Makes no sense.
Okay, I'm gonna close the hearing on BOE 388. We have a difference of 120 and 173. Gonna go to the 9th item on the agenda, BOE 389. Same neighborhood, 836 Northwest 111. Well, 8, that's gonna be east of Western, right?
Yes, ma'am.
R130762285. The assessor's at $177,500. What you gonna say about this one, Mr. Hayes? What's your number gonna be?
2285.
Yeah, 2285.
And will be 2285.
0916 is east of Western.
2285. Okay. Oh, I'm at 145.
You're less than what you submitted on your paperwork. Okay. Let me hear from you.
It's 1307.
You had 1775.
1307. Yes, looking at the subject property, 1,526. I use 1, 2, and 4. Once again, number 1 comp is the same exact comp we used on the last.
Right.
In that same neighborhood. Once again, look at another property, 62,500 more, sold in February. It's maybe the decline neighborhood, look at the size, 17 square foot, larger than the other property on the last comp, sold in February. I don't think you should be using that as a comp. Now, once again, you got the same pretty much comps, number 5 and number 6. No, it should be using a comp that's brand new compared to a comp that's 20 years old. And look at, Ella, I want you to notice something.
Mm-hmm.
Please notice this. I couldn't wait to bring this up. I've been complaining about the concept of the time adjustment, how it's hurtful, how they're adding numbers when the property is older. Now look at the concept of the property when they're newer. A property is 18 years old.
Which comp are you referring to?
Number 6, 9.70. Property that's literally 19 years old. A brand new property. 10.16. When they were doing almost 1% on the algorithm when our property was new. See how unfair that algorithm is? Good Lord, if you can't see it now, there it is. 9.70 on a property that's 18. So you're going 0.5 for every year pretty much. On a property that's literally brand new, 20 years newer, you're going 10.16. Somebody, we all see that now. I've been saying that for the last.
No, when you said it was 1% a year, this is 0.5. I'm.
That's my point. When my property's newer, it's 1%. When their property that they're preparing to newer, it's 0.5. Yes, ma'am, exactly. That's what I'm saying. That means that algorithm is sorry, it's being adjusted not to be fair to the property owner. If nobody can see that.
Okay, so you're using 1, 2, and 4 in
Yes,
of theirs.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay.
And what did you not like about 3 and 5?
The age adjustment.
I know that was comp 6, but what was it about 3 and 5?
3, 5 was what I said about the algorithm. It's not the adjustment. And if you look at the sale price, 253. It's the same one from the last week. And number 3 also with the sale price. Look at the value of the sale price. Look at the value we have. We have a property that's 1326, a property that's small at 1217. 145 per square foot. That see, when you break down the sale price, you're looking at the concept of the price per square foot. Look at the other two, 95.83. Now, well, how do you double that? I mean, how do you bring out 50% to justify that sale? For properties that are under 1,500 square feet, they let you know it's an upgrade. That's common sense.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
Yes, ma'am. 836 Northwest 111th Street. We are still northeast of Northwestern and Hefner, still in College Park. We currently have it valued at $177,500. 23 it was $167,000. In 22 it was $153,000. All three of these values are higher than what Mr. Hayes is asking for. In 23 it was acquired as part of a multi-parcel sale. In 21 it was acquired in a valid qualified transaction at $155,000. We don't currently have a remodel on it. It is a 1,326 square foot house, which gives us a value of $133.86 per square foot. We have a median of $179,475. We have a mean of $173,940. We use 2 Ryan comps, 1 and 4 were both provided by them. he wanted to use those ones as well. So we're both in agreement there. I do want to address that the time adjustment is based on a depreciation table. Depreciation isn't linear, it's exponential and logarithmic, so it's never going to be an exact 1% per year or 0.5% per year. Doing so is just trying to break it down into a linear form versus the actual curve that it follows. Moving on, I don't think there's anything else to say on this other than, if you guys have any questions.
Okay, so you're at 140. I hesitate to ask, but I will. You're a full, let's see, 20, a full 24 months away from your purchase price of 155, and you're comfortable asking for 140,500.
So let me reiterate the concept of the adjustments on the year. I want to bring that to the attention. The concept.
No, I want no. I want you to answer. Are you comfortable asking $15,000 less than your purchase price 2 years later?
Yes, ma'am. But my client does buy property for higher than yeah.
Okay.
Unfortunately, they sometimes they come screw up the market. That's known for my client. I mean, that's why they're on us about trying to get it reduced. Sometimes they buy above what they buy above market to help set the market for hiring. That's why they hire us. And unfortunately, that's just the truth. I've noticed that since I've been dealing with these properties.
Okay.
It's a little embarrassing, but that's I guess that helps create my job.
Okay. So I'm going to close it because we're 30,000. We're 37,000 apart. So
Can I just say one more thing?
Okay.
The comment you made about the album, I just wanted to make sure that everyone knows that I've been complaining about the algorithm when it goes against us. It's literally almost 1%, at least 0.8, 0.9% per year. So on this particular one, the adjustment is about 0.5.
Okay.
It's a running concept, so I'm paying more attention to that. And I hope, Carol, that you see that too, because it's only helping the district, but it's never beneficial to the client when you compare property. It only hurts. So I just wanted to bring that up.
Okay. I'm going to close the hearing on BOE 389 and go to item 10 on the agenda. BOE 390, 888 Northwest 115. R 13076 5940. The assessor is at 165,000. What are you requesting, Mr. Hayes?
Let's see. Make sure I'm on the right one.
5940.
3. Okay. At 156.5 based on 1, 2, 3, 6.
Okay.
Okay, number 4. That was a little too low. Number 4, number 5 was a different variation. In this case, I did like number 5 because it sold the highest. 246,000.
Mr. Hayes, what if it's a valid sale? Just because it's the highest, you toss it.
So please understand, it's not about just tossing the highest bidder. It's a price point.
That's what you just said.
Look at the sale right next to it. You got a property that's 86 square foot smaller. That's
Yes.
average. It's average, man. It sold for $246. Okay, the condition is different, and it's smaller than the property right next to it that sold at the beginning of the year. 3 months later, it's selling for $187. Let's break it down. You're looking at the price per square feet. I'm looking at the value of the sale, but I'm also looking at the price per square feet because that price per square feet tells me that, hey, something's going on there. It's been upgraded. When you're looking at an average, it's 96, 130. If you have a different variation of almost $100 in square footage difference, that normally tells you that the property is close to $100 higher. From a appraisal standard, probably not great on the inside. Nothing's higher than 145 on average. You got 187. Then you got 96, 95. So if you have a different variation of almost $100 per square foot, do you really think that's a comp now for properties that are 1,200 square feet? That's the price point indicator. It tells you that the home has been upgraded by the sale price. And look, notice none of these properties sell for almost $206,000. You have one property that's sold for $246.
It's top 5 in the same neighborhood.
One property that's sold for $246. So am I supposed to say, oh, it should be a comp? No, and it's average. It probably should be good. And guess what? It's 2 years old. It's a newer property. Out of all the properties, that's the property that's the only one sold. I mean, that's not my point. It shouldn't be used. It's that same property that they use. You should not be using brand new property to compare to 20-year-old property.
They're in the same neighborhood. Because here's what'll happen. The developer will come in and you've got like a 10-block area and he'll develop 5 of them. And then I don't know if something goes loopy with the interest rates or he runs out of money or what. And then he'll come back 5 or 6 years later and do that other part of what he's already bought. So all of these houses are in one neighborhood. Huh?
It's not 5 years, it's almost 20 years later. It's like my property. Right next to me, a guy just built a house 2 years ago. My house is almost the same size as his. His house is $160,000 in market value. It should be. It's a new house. You can't compare them. If somebody come to buy my house, his house, first thing they gotta look at is, do I want a brand new house or do I want an old house? Regardless of my house being good at 7 years ago, it's still a brand new house. So you really don't. You shouldn't use. That are 20 and 30 years apart. Not the tax person. Not
Okay, wait, hold on.
Mr. Hayes, I had a question.
Mr. Hayes, Mr. Town is trying to ask you a question.
I just had a question on, what was the objection on comp 4?
Too low. What I read.
So comp 4 was too low? Okay. Thank you.
I think that might be his next.
All right.
Well, comp 4 was a little bit larger, and I used, even though 1 and 4 were lower, I didn't use comp 4 because it sold at the beginning of the year and it was a little bit larger, and then adjusted to 119. I only wanted to use 4.
Okay.
So I used comp 1 because it's that same one. It's close, same year. Sold in December, it was a better comp than the one sold in January. More of an indicator of that.
Okay. Thank you, sir.
Okay, let's hear from the assessor.
Okay, thank you, man. 888 Northwest 115th Street, Oklahoma City, still in College Park, northeast of Western Hefner. We currently have it valued at $165,000. 23 it was $155,000. 22 it was $148,500. Acquired in 22 and 23 in multi-parcel sales. There was a valid arm's length qualified transaction in 21 for $150,000. We don't have any remodel on the record for this one. This is a 1,178 square foot home. Gives us $140.07 per square foot. We used one Ryan comp, and that was actually comp 4. Their 4 was our 4. again, we go through, we pick our best comps in the area, the most comparable, the best matches that we can. And that gives us a median of $166,000 or $166,900 and a mean of $157,929. It's supported by the median, which is actually, in this case, with such significant outliers, is the one that I would lean on heavier anyway. And yeah, no further comments.
Okay, final word on this one, Mr. Hayes.
I'm getting a headache trying to get you guys to see my voice, but I'm not gonna let that bother.
Okay, but we get it. Okay, so I'm gonna close 390 and go to item 11 on the agenda, go to 391, 317 Northwest 118. R130768654. The assessor's at 146,000, and your paperwork indicates 96,300. You sticking with that one, Mr. Hayes?
Of course not, ma'am. 6x4. I'm at 139. I don't know what I wrote you. The 137. I think it's 137. It might be 139. I think it's 125. It's staying close. Now, once again, I want you to know something. Number one, number two, close to the 75. All fair. Look at number three. Number three is smaller. But look at the price per square feet, ladies and gentlemen. That's an indicator that that price. You can't tell me, oh, somebody wants this property. Look, 605, 114. 505, 114. Look at the difference in sale price. Look at that difference. $59,000. A price point differential per square feet of $74. Adjusted 125, 184. They sold a month apart. And the one that sold before, it's almost 200 square foot. That tells you. I mean, we're using appraisal standards, so we're using mass appraisal standards. Because appraisal standards allows you to go into the house and see it and measure and judge, look at the amenities. But we're looking at price points. Going off the market value based off these price points. If you have a property that's sold for $69,000 higher, that is almost 200 square foot smaller, sold a month prior to the other one. Look at the adjustment. For only 3 years difference, but 5 years and 8 years difference with the same land size, with the same neighborhood, the same subdivision. What does that normally tell you? And it's been upgraded. So guess what? They didn't get the upgrade. Probably should be average, which is not a comp by the adjuster. Look what it adjusted. It has the highest adjustment value to 210. Why even use that? Why would you use that? That's one no. Sorry. That you don't even use that. So what I decided to do, I use 1, 2, and 5. We look at number 4. 183. 1136 is small. Again, it's 18 years newer. Oh, look at the adjuster this time. 1235. Now, the one thing about time adjustment, you can vary time adjustments by neighborhood. If they should stay within 2 to 0.3 realm of change. So we go back to the other one, 18 years old, 916. This was 12.35. Now, go next to it and look at the one that's older. See my point? 2.61 for 3 years. I'm sorry, I just don't agree with the algorithm. That's why we do these. Look at the other one that's 9 years newer. -0.70. So, listen, I understand the algorithm view, but that doesn't mean that algorithm is always perfect. That's why we do these hearings. That's why we come to and do these hearings. Look at the concept of the price per square feet. You have 113, 102, 176, 161, 134, 156. The 161 and 176 automatically, to automatically. The 156. If you have 3 properties that are under $150 per square feet, and you have 3 properties that are well over 176, 161, 156, which one will you use to get the best back? I'm just saying, I'm going to start breaking this down even more because I'm not understanding why you use some of these properties are being used because they're not too common. Now, you can use any conservation value, use the conservation value, but let's get close to the concept of the subject property. And with those, 1, 2, and 5 was that. And that's how I got my back.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
317 Northwest 118th Street, Oklahoma City. We're still in College Park. And now we are southwest of 122nd and Santa Fe. So a little further up on the intersections there. We currently have it valued at $146,000. In 23 it was $135,500. In 22 it was $103,500. It actually changed hands twice in 2022, both in multi-parcel sales. And in 21 we had a valid $105,000 sale. We don't currently have a remodel on the record for this property. It is a 1,224 square foot property, which gives us a price per square foot of $119.28. We are currently looking at a median of $147,974, and a mean of $156,938, both of which very much support our value. Again, though, I would lean on the median because there are some of those extreme outliers. I did want to point out we didn't use any of their comps in this one, but I went ahead and looked at the only 2 that we could use, their comp 5 and their comp 2. Their comp 5 adjusts to $123,029. Their comp 2 adjusts to $176,232. And taking the average of even just those 2 also gives us a value of $149,630, another number that supports the value we have them at. And I didn't actually print a comp report for that, I just wrote it down based off of, I wasn't going to print a comp report for just those 2. I have nothing further to say on this one. Those are the facts and the numbers that we have.
Okay. Anything further, anything different, Mr. Hayes?
No, ma'am.
Okay, gonna close 391 and move to 392, which is item 12 on the agenda. 2325 Northwest 113th Place, R 130, 781, 390. The assessor's at 255 and you're at 246.1 unless you give me another figure, Mr. Hayes.
390. They're 246. I'm a little bit more, 245. Let's see. I used the 1, 4, and 5 based off the adjustment. Looking at the sale price, once again, sale price is the indicator. Whether we like to believe it's not, because we're doing the concept of mass appraisal. I think we should be able to do that. We're not looking at these properties individually. We want to take time to look at these properties individually. That becomes the concept of what? Single appraisal. We're looking at mass appraisal. So there is an evidence concept of price point indicator. We're using the time adjustment, but we're starting off with what? Price per square feet, which shows the value. You have the concept of $90 to $114. So they're all in close to this time, which is a good thing. Then I break it down from adjustment. 3 and 5.
You used 5. You used 5, right?
No, I said 3 and 5. No, I used 1, 4, and 6.
So you said 1, 4, and 5.
No, I said 1. I'm sorry. I should have said 1, 4, and 6. I'm sorry.
Okay.
305 had the largest adjustment. I used the property with the most adjustments because they all were in range. Like I said, I didn't like the sale price. Of number two, over 290,000 in October. I noticed that it is close to 200 square foot same year. Land's a little bit larger. They had negative adjustments, which I didn't understand. But right, looking at that sale price of $290,000, and it's 0.72 away, so it's 3/4 of a mile. I'm saying it can't be used, but I would definitely come to finding a fair market value for this particular property. Looking at the concept of number three, it's slightly larger, slightly newer. It's over even higher at 285. So we're talking about the concept of price point indicator. Yes, it's only 15 to 20, but in this case, by them all being closer in size and closer in location, even though number two is 0.72 and number three is 0.31. Number two sold in October, number three, they're both around the same value, 285 and 290. So they're both well over 100,000 per square feet. Go down to number six. Number six is a little bit smaller. It sold at 111, but look at the value. Right? It was just at 251. It is average. It is 3 years old. The land is slightly larger. Same neighborhood, different subdivision. It just was 262. So that's more in line. Number 4 and 6. That's how I get my value.
Okay, we'll hear from the assessor.
2325 Northwest 113th Place, Oklahoma City is northwest of Penn and Hefner. It's in the Greenmore neighborhood. It is currently valued at $255,000. In 23, it was valued at $240,500, and in 22, it was $214,000. In 22 and 20, it was acquired in multi-parcel sales. Our last deed transaction was 2009. So we don't currently have a remodel on for this one either. This is a 2,459 square foot property, which gives us a price per square foot of $103.70. We're currently looking at a median of 262,644 and a mean of 258,180, both of which comfortably support the value we have him at. Or them, sorry. We use 2 of their comps in our 6 comp report. Their comp 6 is our comp 1. Their comp 4 is our comp 3. These are all actually pretty good comps as far as the net sales.
Which one, I'm sorry, which one of your comps were his comps?
Our comp 1 is Ryan's comp 6. Our comp 3 is Ryan's comp 4.
Sorry, comp 3?
Our 3 is their 4, yes ma'am.
Thank you.
Yes ma'am. All of these comps are fairly good. 1 and 2 are 4-digit numbers for net dollar amount. The rest are still within like that 15,000. Small percentages once you actually divide them out by their sales price. So they're all good comps. They're all usable. I look at the median again to get rid of our outliers. But yeah, nothing else to say on that one either.
Okay, final word, Mr. Hayes. Well, got nothing further. I'm going to close BOE 392 and do our very last one, which is item 13 on the agenda, BOE 393, 3800 Northwest 125th, R131090060. The assessor is at 267, and you're at 265,100. You sticking with that one?
Mr. Hayes? We lose him?
I'm fine. You said I was at 2 what?
65,1.
No, I'm at 253 on this one. Number 2 is too small. Well over 500 square foot. Number 3, we have it for 19 years. But since we didn't have it, I didn't see it I'm not likely to adjust it at 45 to 50,000. But I use number three, and that's the main number. One is the 251. Number two is way too small.
You used comps 1 and 3?
Yes. Number two is on all. I consider way smaller than subject property, so it's just higher automatically. Look at number three. Number three, look at what's in. So number three is about, what, 550 square foot large, 509 square foot large. Look at
No,
the difference.
whoa. 22, the difference between 2204 and 2217?
No, I'm looking at number two.
Oh, sorry.
Look at the difference in price. If you look at the price per square. 250, 315.
That was over December.
Go back and look at 2092, 247.
You should use that.
Slightly older than subject property, slightly small.
It's too low. But it
So
boosts
all
his
these
price.
properties are upgrade. But look at the sales. Sorry. So because they raised it back, I'm only back with last year because they raised it back. I took one in those. Number two is too small.
No.
Once you make the adjustment, that's gonna get you to 295 because of the five.
Let me hear from the assessor, because I want to know when was the last ballot sale on this one.
The last valid sale was actually in 21, it was 190,000.
Okay.
Okay. 3800 Northwest 125th Street, Oklahoma City is northwest of 122nd, Lake Hefner Parkway, Portland, that area right there. It's in Rolling Hills. In 24, we currently have it valued at $267,000. 23, it was $257,500, and in 22, it was $194,500.
Is it in Quail Creek?
Pardon?
Is it Quail Creek?
We have it in Rolling Hills, but there is no remodel on the record for this one.
Was this the village?
I don't.
No, it's
I think it's
122nd between.
Oh, sorry.
No, it's okay.
Sorry.
We're here to answer questions.
Across, it must be across the highway.
Yeah, there's the map right up there with the.
Yeah,
Oh,
because
okay.
I'm just across the highway on the other side.
Okay.
Quail Creek.
It is a 2,204 square foot property, which gives us a price per square foot of $121.14. Our 3 comp report has a median of 268,798, and then a mean of 267,366. It's a 3 comp report. The median basically has to be dismissed out of principal, so the 267 mean still supports our value. I did go ahead and look at their comps, which actually it looks like are very similar to ours, but I went ahead and added one more. It shouldn't have been added. It had almost $150,000 of adjustments. But if we add that in, it raises the median and mean significantly.
To just use
Which one
theirs
is-
or to add theirs to?
I didn't make a very good note of what I did there with that one. We could go through. Let me see. 3901 Spyglass. It's not one that we used. Right here. 2504 Arrowhead is right there. 3920 Spyglass is right there. Go ahead and go to the next set.
Sugar Hill Lane.
2704 Northwest 125th. So yes, these using all of their comps. All 4 of these comps are provided by them.
And so what was your median with the taxpayer comps?
Median with the taxpayer comps is 282,276, and then the mean is 276,700. Both of which would actually suggest raising the value.
Right. And he just used 1 and 3 of his.
Yes, but again, that's going to drop it down to a 2 comp report. We try not to set values or defend them based on only 1 or 2 values.
Okay. Final word for you, Mr. Hayes.
No, ma'am, I'm lost on this one.
Okay. All right, that's gonna do us for today, and I guess, do you know what days we see him next week?
21st and 22nd.
21st and 22nd, 21, that's 14, that's Tuesday and Wednesday. Okay, so we'll have a nice weekend and we'll see you next week, Mr. Hayes.
Have a great weekend.
Okay, bye-bye. Okay, so Monday, can we talk, is Monday a mix or commercial?
All Mr. Boyer's Monday, commercial.
The man from,
Anastasia Investment.
okay,
I think he has 6.
so we have 6 on Monday, all commercial, okay. Well, thank you, guys.
Thank you.
See you all tomorrow.
Motion.
Got to close the meeting still.
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to close the meeting.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.